What's up, everyone? Today I'm going to be talking about one of the worst films ever created, and that is Neil Breen's Fateful Findings. There may be films that are shot worse, and there may be films that are just as confusing.
You are tearing me apart, Lisa!
Why are you so hysterical?
But in my opinion, no other film combines all the elements of bad movies quite like Fateful Findings. To start off, I should really explain who Neil Breen is. Neil Breen is a crazy person with access to a camera. That, or he's a genius that knowingly makes films that drive people insane. Because trying to figure the plot out of this movie nearly killed me. I'm not sure I can properly summarize this film. The closest I can get is to describe the content in the scenes. So the film starts off with these two kids in the woods, and they find some dollar store plastic gems, and these are supposed to be important for some reason. They both look like they couldn't give a fuck about some buried treasure, but hey, I don't blame them, neither can I.
It's bad luck. I'm not afraid.
That's good. I don't think anyone asked, though. So, as foreshadowing, the kid makes a note in her notebook for some reason. Then, literally seconds later, the kids get separated and never see each other again. Okay, I have to mention, kid actors are rarely good in films, but these kids are on another goddamn level.
Where's Dylan?
Thankfully, that's the last we see of them. Unfortunately for us, this is when our main actor and director and producer and writer Neil Breen comes in. Oh, he immediately gets hit by a car at the end. Oh no, wait, there's another hour and a half left of the movie. I swear, he's on the screen for about 30 seconds before he gets smashed by that car. Then some people show mild to moderate concern about the situation.
Is he breathing? Is he okay?
Neil Breen gets rushed to the hospital and is in a coma. Oh, and that's totally a hospital and not the corner of someone's house, by the way. Just wanted to point that out. The doctor says that his condition doesn't look good, but in true Neil Breen fashion, he's out of bed and walking home instantly. So Breen comes home to his many laptops and his wife says he's doing fine, except for the massive head wound and loss of motor control. Maybe that's just normal, it's probably fine. Breen then tells the voices in his head to stop calling him.
Leave me alone. Do not call me anymore.
We then set up that the wife is stealing his pills, but Breen's a big man and doesn't need them anymore, so he puts them in the toilet but doesn't flush them? I don't know. Moving on to my favorite location in the movie, trash bag room. That's all. Now we set up Breen's therapist character, and they sit very far away from each other. He tells Neil Breen, his character, that he should be taking his medication. And then the scene just kind of ends.
I'm feeling less stable.
Then Neil Breen tries to drink some coffee. So there's this whole subplot about this alcoholic dude and his wife and their daughter that no one gives a shit about, but they invite them over for dinner. And then some actors act at each other, and then the scene just ends?
I'd love to try your wine.
Can I have some wine, please?
I don't feel so well.
Then he really needs to get this work done?
I've got to get this work done.
I don't like the people I work with.
I've got to get this work done.
Okay, no one asked? And then he just tells her that he's hacking into things, but she brushes it off as more insane Breen ramblings.
I've hacked into just about all the information I need. They have no idea.
So after that, Breen goes to a different therapist. Or maybe psychic? Or maybe a witch? Anyways, they awkwardly sit in a corner and she tells him that people want his power.
They want what you have.
I don't know what that power is. Maybe to spill coffee on yourself and use 5 laptops at the same time? So after a bunch of boring shit, they decide to have a barbecue. Where are these voices coming from? We can see all the characters. So the doctor lady, who wasn't even Breen's doctor, shows up, and I didn't even mention her before because who gives a shit? And then the huge twist that no one saw coming, it's the girl from the beginning of the movie. And Breen finds out because she's still carrying around the notebook from 30 years ago? And then they have some awkward dialogue about how they still think of that day when they were 8 years old.
I can't believe it's you. I think of you every day.
Then the drunk guy gets shot. This makes Breen mildly upset.
I can't believe you committed suicide. I cannot believe you committed suicide.
So of course, he goes back to his witch friend, and she tells him that his true love is still with him, and he gets very happy at a rock. This guy changes suits over the course of a transition. That's a pretty cool power.
What is it? Are you really writing a book?
Breen and Dr. Lady just happen to run into each other at the park and remember that they're supposed to have a relationship. So they go back to the buried treasure, which still just has some twigs over it. The wife gets upset that she didn't get invited to the treasure hunt and she kills herself. Breen finds her and is sad? I'm not actually sure what emotion that's supposed to be. Now my favorite scene in the film, the famous salad eating scene. Didn't your wife just die? So Breen tells her that he's hacking into government and corporate secrets, and she immediately gets kidnapped. Thankfully for Breen, there's literally no security. I was worried there for a second. I thought Breen was actually gonna have to do something. So Breen teleports through the door in one of the most fantastic special effects I've ever seen. Breen saves the doctor lady, but...
I need to put the blindfold back on.
What?
I'm going to put the gag back in. Please be very quiet.
What? Anyways, ghosts start haunting Breen, and compared to the rest of this shit in this movie, I'm on board for this. After this, Breen has to get out of that house, but Dr. Lady should be fine though.
Leah, hi, this is Dylan. I just got out of bed. I'm sorry. I've got to go out of town for a day.
After this, shit just starts happening. Finally, we make it to the end of the film where Breen tells the world, or a shitty green screen, that he's hacking into corporate and government secrets.
I've been hacking into government and corporate systems all over the country.
Upon hearing about a crazy person rambling about his hallucinations, some people in suits start killing themselves.
Incompetent senators must resign now also.
And amazed at what I have here.
Oh look, that guy's dead. Oh well. And then the movie just kind of ends. I always have trouble deciding if I would recommend this film or not. Some parts are legitimately funny, but most of the film is almost unbearable. So if you think you can make it through this movie, I would say it's worth it. Alright, I'm gonna go try to forget I ever watched this movie now.